Hi, and thank you for joining this video as well. As we are about to set off on the latest edition of Hyundai's Great India Drive, I want to actually talk about the last Great India Drive that I did, which was back in the month of January 2021. And while I discovered a lot of fantastic places, some of them I'd been to before, but seeing them again, such as Bhimbedka, Sachi, and the stunning discovery of Gyaraspur, I really want to talk about the city of Bhopal, where we based ourselves. Bhopal is possibly one of India's most underrated cities. It has possibly some of the best museums of any city in India. And in this video, I want to talk about the MP State Tribal Museum, which was a stunning museum, and I loved it. So, yeah, keep watching this video for more. The area around Bhopal has some of the earliest known evidence of human habitation in India. It is also not very surprising that Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh, states at the heart of India, have a lot of the indigenous tribes still surviving over there. The MP State Tribal Museum brings a lot of the stories of these tribes, their culture and tradition back to the forefront. The MP State Tribal Museum is open between Tuesday and Sunday from 12 noon to 7 p.m. Tickets cost 100 rupees and you have to take a separate ticket for photography. Videography is not technically allowed inside the museum, but you can make short snatches on your phone. There are hundreds of tribes in the Madhya Pradesh region, each with their own unique history and culture. And as you walk into the museum, you see the homes and habitation habits of these tribes. Yes, across the museum, you find that a lot of things are slightly exaggerated. Of course, not all these homes are like this when you go to the villages, but it is fantastic to see how different tribes have very different styles of living, different homes, different artwork, as well as different gods and goddesses they worship. The lighting is a bit funky across the museum, and it sometimes felt more like you were in a rave than in a museum. But it does bring some of these unique artifacts to life. You also get to see the diversity in our tribes, how different tribes have extremely different artwork. And while, of course, some tribes have assimilated to larger society and to each other, it's remarkable to see how some smaller tribes still hold on to their unique stories and their unique myths. The Bibila myth, for example, how the ancestors come down to earth to bless the families. That is a very fascinating myth, and the artwork that is used to represent it is fantastic. It really does stand out. It is a piece of work that would do well in any museum anywhere in the world. It's something that I really enjoyed reading about, because you don't know about all these stories. You see depictions of stories about life, about death, about disease, about marriage, and you realize how rich and vibrant a culture India really has, even though at times I feel we are getting assimilated into a uniform Indian culture. And these tribal cultures have to be remembered. And I think the MP State Tribal Museum does a fantastic job of telling these stories. These stories need to be told, this culture needs to be remembered. And it's sad that such a museum doesn't exist in either Delhi or any other large city in India. And I must thank the Madhya Pradesh government for telling these stories, for having the guts to build a museum like this and curating it so spectacularly well. It was a fantastic place to visit, and I really recommend that you travel to Bhopal and visit this museum. It's also a very nice gift shop. You can buy some nice stuff to take home. I did. There are some other galleries where they talk about life and play as well. So it was a great place to visit, a great place to be, and I'm really glad that I managed to spend a few hours here when I did. Thank you for watching this video, and I really hope that you go visit Bhopal. I know it's one of those really, really underrated cities, and it's not just the MP State Tribal Museum, but it's also the MP State Museum, which is fantastic. Some of the stuff they have there is fantastic, and I'll do a video about that. And it's also the Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya, the National Anthropological Museum that is in Bhopal. All these museums are literally next to each other and they're amazing to visit. In fact, I would suggest that you go spend a weekend in Bhopal just touring the museums. They are fantastic. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and do leave your comments on what you think. I'll be doing such amazing, great content about cars, about travel, about aviation over the coming weeks. Thanks again.